And off they go. So you'll be seeing that this game has a lot of cutscenes, which you can pretty much just simply skip by holding the B button, and then you'll also see the path action guide immediately take place. So they're gonna guide the child back to who got lost back to their mom, like a good person.
Yeah, chapter 1 is basically an introduction to all the mechanics you have in the game. So we are introduced immediately to guide. And of course, in other single stories, you'll be introduced to other path actions, which we will see later. But right now, both runners are just going to make their way through Ophilia's chapter 1. And we are going to guide the Summon Winds guy. So Ionic Karma right now guiding the Summon Winds guy in the tavern. So this guy has an attack called Summon Winds, which hits 3 times for the wind element, and that is very useful on Ophilia's chapter 1 boss. Zero's gonna guide the Summon Winds guy after making his way through the cutscenes on the top of the hill. But right after that, we are going to see them purchase a quartz rod, which is going to increase the elemental attack of Ophi, and that is essential for the quick kill on this upcoming boss. Otherwise, we would take forever to kill Guardian.
So you're gonna see here that they're gonna, after a little bit of walking, they're gonna be hitting their first battle. So both runners are choosing to break and run. So basically, a quick summary is all of these monsters have a certain number of shields, and if it goes to 0, you've effectively broken them. So when an enemy is broken, your attacks will deal double damage. But the other interesting property is that you automatically succeed in running from the encounter if they're broken.
So immediately we actually see a divergence in how they play this first screen. So Ionic Karma deciding to walk the entire stretch while Zero opts to run, and you can see that for Ionic Karma it does pay off. He does reach the end point a bit earlier than Zero, just because Zero got 2 encounters and Ionic Karma only got 1. But they're both still pretty even right now. They both chose to break the second encounter in they both chose to break the encounter in the cave as well, and now they are proceeding onto the first boss fight, which is Guardian.
So this fight is just basically he's a big guy that's guarding the flame, which Ophilia needs to get, and then their first action is basically gonna be summon and Summon Winds, dude. What you want in this fight is to see him use Summon Winds to break the Guardian, and then you go in with a Holy Light to deal a whole bunch of damage to it.
Ionic Karma getting some really good Summon Winds luck right off the bat. So we're gonna see, basically this fight is just Summon Winds, summon the Summon Winds guy, break Guardian, hit it hard with max Holy Light, and break it one more time and kill it before you die. So the ad that Guardian summons will explode on you after 3 turns. So if you're unable to kill it by then, you're gonna take a whole lot of damage. Unless you heal yourself, you are pretty much going to die. So ideally you want to finish Guardian off before this happens. Luckily though, with 2 Holy Lights it should go down.
So both runners getting a whole lot of summon wins and easily beating the Guardian.
Yeah, Ionic Karma getting very good Summon Winds luck. So you will see him pull just ahead of Zero for the time being, And now they're going to make their way over to Atlas Dam to pick up arguably one of the most important characters in Octopath speedrunning, which is Cyrus. Actually, it's just because he has evasive maneuvers. But yeah, it's Cyrus. So they are gonna make their way over to Atlas Dam right now. Interestingly, well, not interestingly, they didn't do the Jack strat and guide Flurry guy, so we aren't gonna see any janky Kate hunting.
If you're wondering about Kate's for Ophilia, it's best not to ask. It's a curse.
Yeah.
So Ionic getting the ants, the good old aggressive ants, which is not generally what you want to see, but luckily he escapes from there scot-free.
Yeah, ants are really not one you want to see. Any double group actually, and Zero's getting ants here as well. But you really don't want to see groups of 2 because you can't break them. So the only choice you have is to flee from the encounter, and if you don't flee, well, you are going to lose a lot of time because you have to take a lot of hits.
Oof, Ionic getting ants and failing to flee, so unfortunately he's going to be stuck there for a little bit as Zero makes his way inside Atlas Dam.
Yeah, so this is why ants are very horrible. I can attest to that, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other runners have the same sentiments.
So they're gonna pick up Cyrus here, and then they're gonna backtrack a little bit to buy some equipment for Cyrus and get some items. So you're gonna see Zero scrutinize this little girl for a light M, which will be very important for later on. And then you're also gonna see Zero buy a quartz rod, and then 2 pointed hats for Ophilia and Cyrus. So this gives some Cyrus some firepower for his spells for Russell, and then the pointed hats give you some more elemental attack that helps fulfill some ranges during the battles in the subterranean study.
Yeah, they are gonna screw the guy in the middle of the next map. I mean, the first map for a small soulstone, which will be used for some damage on Russell. Okay, so if we haven't explained, soulstones are basically just items which you can throw to deal a set amount of damage. And this is very important because when our characters in single story are very low level and they don't deal a lot of damage, so most of the damage output will be from a skill known as Hired Help and Soul Stones, because they deal a set amount of damage regardless of your stats. So Soul Stones are very important, especially later on during exploration, where you can get large Soul Stones which deal a lot of damage, 2007 on unbroken enemies and 5000 for unbroken enemies.
So Zero here is opting to skip the light S in subterranean study that most people usually get, while Ionic opts to get this light S.
Yeah, I didn't notice if Zero got the Shadow S drop from Guardian, but he probably did, which is why he could skip the light S. It's just a bit of time save and could probably save you a third encounter as well. So Zero is pretty ahead going into Russell. And this fight is pretty easy. There's not much that can go wrong. The worst case is that everyone gangs up on Cyrus, and Cyrus takes a nap because he's useless like that.
Oh wow, so it looks like Zero got the Ice Soulstone drop from the Sentinel, which is a pretty huge boost because not only does it damage the ads, it also Russell's also weak to ice, so it takes off the shield, and Zero also gets good Summon Winds RNG.
Oh wow, that's so pog. Like, yeah, Ice Soulstone drop is super good in this map. And basically how this fight unfolds is you just want to break the ads with Fireball and then kill them with Soulstone and Ice Wind, then break Russell, hit him with more big spells, and he should be down by the second break. So Zero finishing up Russell really easily there, and we should see Ionic Karma finish up with Russell soon as well.
Yeah, so that was a very quick Russell from Zero. That Ice Soulstone just pretty much deals very noticeable damage. You'll also see that Soulstone did 260 damage base rather than 200. So if an enemy is weak to that element and they're not broken yet, they'll take additional damage from that element that they're weak to.
Yeah, so finishing up with Cyrus single story, we are gonna come up on one of the most infamous parts of Octopath speedrunning, which is the grind. And very iconic place to grind for job points, which are the currency which you need to teach skills, is Whistlewood. And Whistlewood is not the most fun place to be in. The monsters there are pretty high level, so they can kill you if you get ambushed or you fail to escape. But you need the job points in order to get a certain skill on Cyrus called Evasive Maneuvers, which is unlocked after you teach him two of his two skills. And Evasive Maneuvers is the most important part of any Octopath speedrun because it allows you to walk through maps without getting an encounter, or rather it allows you to take a lot more steps without getting an encounter, so you can see why that's integral to Octopath speedrunning.
So Ionic here is finishing up Cyrus Chapter 1. Had a decent Russell, and then Zero is on his way to Whistlewood. So you'll see that he learned Lightning Blast early on, and Luminescence, which is to help grind JP. So basically, the grind for Ophilia is pretty forgiving, as you can easily grind JP thanks to Luminescence and Lightning Blast doing a lot of damage. So Zero here got the worst encounter in Whistlewood, unfortunately. So he's gonna have to grind a little bit more to get the JP he needs.
Yeah, so what you want to see in Whistlewood is bugs, because bugs give a lot of JP, and any group with bugs basically gives you enough JP to get evasive maneuvers. You can also take frogs, but you do have to grind outside Whistlewood, which is what Zero is doing now. Unfortunately, he got frogs all the way. I think he got two groups of 2 frogs on the way to Whistlewood, and now he's getting a group of 3 frogs. So I'm not sure if he has enough JP at this point. He is actually short on 5 JP, I think, so he's gonna have to take one more encounter. I didn't catch what Ionic Karma got, but he is teaching Cyrus skills now, so he is gonna get EM. So I assume he got a good encounter. But Zero is just gonna get EM right after this encounter now.
So Ionic got the good old 5 bugs without getting ambushed, and he's immediately able to learn evasive maneuvers and basically even out his pace with Zero, despite Zero having an extremely good Russell. Whistlewood matters a lot when you're going for a good time, because having to take additional encounters or getting ambushed in Whistlewood is just not a fun time.
Yeah, so on a world record, if you're going for like world record attempts, you probably wouldn't accept any deaths at Whistle, or at max 1 or 2 battles outside Whistle, because it really just wastes a lot of time if you have to grind for battles. A good thing none of our runners, I did say that bugs are what you want to see in Whistlewood. A good thing none of our runners ran into the infamous 2 bugs and Frog and 6 encounter. which is a funny encounter. It's 3% there, but there is a monster called Frog and 6, which you cannot kill even with a soulstone. So if you get that, then it's just sucks to be you.
Yeah, so you see here, after tagging Noble Core, they grabbed the Light Soulstone M, and went to Purgation to grab the Light Soulstone L and the 20k. So this is money and that they will get for hiring people to do their work for them, and additionally they'll use these Soulstones for what I presumably think they'll be doing the 3-character route, so they'll be using it to grab Tressa.
Yeah, coming up we're gonna go over the Ripple Tide and pick up Tressa. Tressa is arguably the most important character in Octopath speedrunning. She is one of the most overpowered characters as far as single story and probably outside of single story as well, just because she brings a lot of utility to the party. So Tressa has a lot of good things going for her. For one, she's a merchant, so she has access to hired help, which is very useful for breaking and for damage with veterans. Her passive is called Eye for Money and basically allows her to generate money just by walking around the screen. And this is very significant when you get to higher level areas where you can just rack up thousands of leaves just by walking across a single screen. And yeah.
So you'll see here that Ionic unfortunately got an encounter while on the way to Ripple Tide, which then was able to magically successfully broke it, and Zero did not, so Zero is now back ahead.
Yeah, I lost my train of thought there, so good thing you good thing you stepped in to say something. But I was also going to say that the last thing that is very important that Tressa has is her path action, which is purchase, which allows her to obtain items from NPCs, of course at the cost of money. But you do go around exploring and getting money to be able to fund Tressa's purchase. And purchase is very important because you get to purchase a lot of strong items like soul stones and pomegranates, which are going to be used in later boss battles.
Yeah, so if you like pay-to-win games, Octopath Single Story is definitely the game you want to play.
Yeah, everyone says Octopath is free to play, but it's actually pay to play. So Mick and Mac here is pretty easy. You just throw stones at them and they go down pretty easily. The variance in the main variance of Mick and Mac is basically your turn order. So if you get 2 characters before Mick and Mac, then it's the fastest fight, but usually you get 1 character before and 1 character after, which is what Zero got. But either way, it's not a big deal. It's just a few seconds difference. Yeah, and with that, Mick and Mac is gone. And that is, I believe, all the characters which both runners are going to pick up for their route. And so now they will be moving on to exploration.
Yeah, so this 3-character, assuming that they are doing the 3-character route, this 3-character route has been a recent new development that has only been alive for possibly less than a month and a half. This route is very powerful in that you still get around the same items and resources, but you only have 3 characters instead of 4, so you essentially are able to do the same things that you would do in 4 characters.
Yeah, this route is ridiculously fast. It can compete with 4-character cake times, which is very fast because 4-character Kate, I think, saves about 3 minutes over the standard 4-character route, so just by skipping 1 character, you can save so much time.
So you see here that the runners grab the Zero grabbed the Light Soulstone S, and so this is primarily used as a backup in case they get certain encounters on their way to Saint's Bridge, where Ophilia's Chapter 2 is, and they'll also be grabbing this Warrior Shrine, which which will help them in some later fights. So they're
and
yeah,
sorry, go ahead.
No, you can go ahead.
Yeah, don't forget, it's not just picking up the 4th character that costs time, because you need resources to finish their chapter as well. So sometimes gathering the resources can take a while. So in general, free character routes are pretty fast, and they're, like Sanjan said, it's very new development. And this Ophilia, for the longest time, Ophilia free character route was thought to not be possible, but as a result of this tournament, a lot of runners have come together and pulled together their knowledge of the game and came up with this route. And it's a very good route, I must say.
So you'll see here that on their way to the merchant shrine, they saved at a certain save point and quit. So what this does is, when you save and quit and reload that save, your encounter steps get reset, because encounters in this game are kind of based on a step counter. And essentially, if they were able to just like run all the way through here, they would have got very, very likely got an encounter on the way, and being that this is a higher level area than your characters, are just gonna get owned.
Yeah, so save and quit is one of the strats you take in single story to avoid dying to strong encounters. We are going to see that come up multiple times throughout the run. We are going to see it come up very soon, actually, outside Grandport, and later on in Chapter 4 as well. So they're going to tag Goldshore right now, and Zero opting to... Okay, no, I guess you screwed the guy later in the run, but he's gonna screw the guy outside Goldshore for this quest called Safe Route, which gives 11,000 leaves, and there's a lot of money, which will be very useful for funding Tressa's veterans later in the run.
So Ionic opted to go for the early Thunder L-Screw, which is kind of minor. You don't lose that much time if you have to get it. It's just preference. Though sometimes you might want to consider skipping it if you got a lot of EI procs, which the runners may get. And then you also see Zero here opting to go for the slightly safer option of getting that wind L. So generally, if you want a very good time, you skip that wind L, but at the cost of relying on endless items proc, which endless items gives you a 25% chance to duplicate your item, and is learned after you learn 2 merchant skills.
Yeah, so Ionic Karma actually opting to skip Wind L, so we are gonna see him go for YOLO strats, I assume. A respectable choice, because getting the Wind L is pretty slow. You have to reload the screen, and safety strats in general are pretty slow.
Oof, Zero gaining the big birds of doom.
Oh no, yeah, I must say
fleeing. Okay, I see.
Oh, interesting, Zero. Alright, so one thing to note is that these few screens are pretty cursed. Like, you can get an encounter on the way from Goldshore to the West Grandport coast. You can get an encounter picking up the 20k and going to the save and quit point. And you can get an encounter picking up the Thunder L and tagging Grandport. So it's pretty cursed passes, if you would say. Granted, the one to the save point isn't the most likely, but one from Goldshore to West Grandport coast and tagging Grandport, those are pretty cursed.
Yeah, if you get the birds, you have a very low chance of escaping here, and the fact that he was able to escape is always mind-blowing. So you'll see here that Ionic and Zero are kind of diverging routes. So Zero's opting to do the Grandport section first. And Ionic is choosing to go directly to Saints Bridge. So you'll see that Zero here bought an Unerring bracelet, which increases accuracy. And then he's going to grab some money items and then some pomegranates.
Yeah, so Unerring Bracelet is pretty useful. It increases your accuracy, which will come into play for Harad Veneer, Ophilia's Chapter 2 boss, and Mystery Man Shady Figure Chapter 3 boss, and also breaking encounters on the way to Whisper Mill, which is Chapter 4. But right after that, Zero is gonna TP right back to Ripple Tide and make his way over to Saints Bridge. Ionic Karma is already on the way there. So Saints Bridge is Ophilia's Chapter 2 town, and basically since both runners are already done with their exploration, they are just gonna speed through the rest of the game, and it is where we are gonna see our first instance of hired help veterans, and you will understand why Tressa is so overpowered. So nothing much going on here right now. They are just gonna run around, run over to Saints Bridge. Ionic Karma actually getting old coin. Not sure why, because he didn't get Unerring Bracelet.
Ionic hasn't done Grand Port first, so maybe he'll get the Unerring Bracelet, but old coin is always okay to get in the race setting in case you get, unless Cyrus does not his job at or very soon here, as we'll see.
Yeah, so maybe he is opting to pick up Unerring Bracelet, but at a later point in time. Something to note about this, the screen outside Saints Bridge, it's usually pretty reliable. You don't usually get an encounter there, but if you do get an encounter, it does kind of take a lot of time. You can kill it with an M stone and an S stone. So it's not the end of the world. It's not like getting the birds outside Grandport or getting an encounter on the way to the safe point. Oh, Zero actually getting the encounter, so I sort of jinxed it and caught by surprise. So really unfortunate for Zero. Ionic Karma is gonna pull way ahead of Zero right now.
So you see that Ionics did scrutinize on that man outside or right inside the church. So that man allows for better guides, which reduces the levels that you need for Ophilia to be able to guide someone, which is very important for later on. And
Oh
Zero
no.
getting shreked by
Oh no, Zero getting wrecked by the Omega Lol. Oh, I'm very unfortunate for Zero. So Ionic Karma is going to screw the bracelets guy right now. He does get the screw, so good for him. He doesn't have to spend an extra 8k restoring reputation, while Zero is going to make his way safely to Saints Bridge. So right now Ionic Karma is pretty far ahead, but there's still quite a bit of the run left, so there are plenty of opportunities for Zero to catch up. But he is gonna have to hit his screws if he wants to have a good shot at doing so.
So he gets the screw on the cleric first try. So the screw on the cleric is 50%, whereas the one on the man on the bridge, which gives you additional access to items, is 30%. So I guess I should explain what Scrutinize is. Scrutinize is Cyrus's path action. It's a rogue path action that you basically interrogate someone for information, and then you'll be able to get whatever you need. But it does have a chance to fail, and if you fail too many times, you got to make a trip to the tavern and pay money so that everyone forgets about it.
Nice first try scoot from Cyrus. Cyrus doing his job for Zero here.
So Ionic's making his way through the path to Mirkwood, and in this screen you can get an encounter, but thankfully he doesn't get an encounter and is able to save and quit.
Yeah, it's the same, pretty much the same encounter as the one outside Saints Bridge. So if you do get the one inside, you can opt to kill it with an M stone and S stone as well. But you could of course just not get the encounter, which is easier said than done on PB pace actually. Yeah, Zero's now gonna make his way to Mirkwood, and right now Ionic Karma is gonna get into another battle, and hopefully he doesn't get ambushed because you really don't want to get ambushed inside Mirkwood. Oh, he does get ambushed. I jinxed it. I should stop talking actually, since I'm jinxing
This is some bad
everything.
energy. Yeah, so basically, ambushes are very bad, and thankfully, some people manage to survive. So he's able to get the kill, but ambushes are extremely dangerous in most 3-character routes because you only have 3 characters, they don't have much HP, they're likely to get a lot of hits on you, and you're generally just out of luck.
Yeah, fortunately for Ionic Karma though, he is able to kill the encounter. Pretty fortunate, they managed to spread out their attacks enough, I think. And he did get a turn order where he was able to olive and then throw a stone immediately after. So Ionic Karma making his way to Herod Veneer, and Zero not getting surprised, so very good for him here. He is able to make up some time.
And so now both of them are through the really bad parts of Mirkwood, and then Ionic is going to face Big Doggle, also known as Veneer. Please do not send pitchforks for pronouncing the name wrong. And oh, Cyrus missing the spearhead. Oh no.
Oh, Spearhead, not the most accurate move,
Treston
actually.
missing as well.
Oof, big oof. Oh no. Does he have 1,000 spirits?
No.
I think he doesn't have 1,000 spirits, so he actually he could go for. Wow, so very unfortunate for Ionic Karma. So I don't think he has enough damage because he needs to throw 3 stones to kill Horopnir here.
Yeah, so I believe he's gonna need to break Veneer again, but at least like he doesn't really do anything on this turn. He just starts getting angry, but oh yeah, he's gonna start
Angry
tossing those
dog.
stones. It looks like Zero's fight goes pretty smooth, so basically this is generally a scripted fight, as long as you hit. Disclaimer. So basically the process here is just to break the doggo and then chuck a total of 3 L stones at it, and then chuck vets and collect money from it, and bada bing, bada boom, you're done.
Yeah, good thing for Ionic Karma, he didn't get 1 EI proc, so he was able to make up for the extra stone that he had to throw to kill Horopnir. So his stone count is still good right now. But yeah, Zero getting the ideal fight there. Oh, also something we have to know: Ionic Karma is down 4,000 because he didn't collect Herod Veneer, so he is gonna have to make up that money somewhere. He could probably do that by scrutinizing the copper pouch lady in Goldshore. But we'll see what he decides to do. He is gonna opt to take the Ripple-Tide back up, actually. Whereas Zero is just gonna make his way straight to Goldshore. Ionic Karma actually going to Grandport now, which is an okay play. You can go to Grandport pretty much anytime. So I think he did get the Unerring Bracelet, so skipping the Wind L but getting Unerring Bracelet.
So Ionic opting to buy an extra soulstone in Grandport, as well as getting the extra soulstone in Ripple-Tide.
Does he have the money though? That soulstone in Grandport is very expensive. Like, that merchant basically rips you off because he sells the soulstone for 7.4k, whereas everybody else in the world sells it for like 6k. So not the most economical of choices to buy a soulstone from that guy. Not just here, in any single story actually.
So as Zero's going through chapter 3, he's going to scrutinize Wind L from the lady, which is basically just more soul stones, and then I think he also scrutinized the old lady for extra money. So basically, just going through his story, and then you're gonna see him teleport to Saints Bridge, and this is to buy the really useful empowering bracelets, which are basically necessary for this run because you're gonna be tanking some hits. He's also gonna buy a charm rope for Cyrus because without it, Cyrus is quite squishy, and he won't be able to take a hit for the final boss. So he's gonna equip the empowering bracelets and heal everyone up for Ophilia. And then he also guided the most important character, or the most cursed character in this game, the Warrior Ward.
Worry Ward, actually the best boy. Sorry, Elfin fans. So Worry Ward has a very important ability called Inhibit Defense, which basically, since vets, higher health veterans, goes off physical defense, getting Inhibit Defense, which lowers the defense of your opponent by, I think, 1/3. So it basically multiplies your vets damage by 1.5. So with max vets, usually you get like 4k per hit, as you saw on Herald Veneer, but with Inhibit Defense, you get 6k per hit. And that is, of course, going to be very vital for finishing bosses later in the game. Like on Mystery Man Shady Figure, which is going to come up right now. So Zero is going to take a save and quit inside the, what's it called? Seaside Grotto. And something interesting to note about the way Zero saves, he saves on the right side of the save point, which basically just reduces the amount of steps he needs to take to the next to the boss by just a little bit. But when you're grinding out attempts and you're taking a lot of attempts, like, these steps can matter. It could mean the difference between getting an encounter and not getting an encounter in 1 or 2 runs. But those are more significant than you think they would sound.
So Ionic's on his way to Seaside Grotto, where Zero thankfully got no encounters and is hitting the boys, Mystery Man and Shady Figure. So you'll see the Warrior come into play here, because we're gonna basically be hoping for Inhibit Defenses before turn 3, but even if you don't get it, if you choose like to do it the safer way, you don't need Inhibit Defenses to finish this fight, assuming you take the safe path. So the reason why we get Inhibit Defenses is because Therion and the Thief Shrine is quite far from the places Ophilia goes, so the second best option is to get Mr. Warrior here, who is basically like Therion but RNG. So you'll see that Zero got Mr. Warrior to do his job. And now he's able to do full damage to these guys thanks to Inhibit Defenses, and then because of Inhibit Defenses, he uses less resources to finish off MMSF.
Yeah, so Inhibit Defense is really vital for MMSF and Maddie, which is coming up in Chapter 4. Yeah, nothing much after Chapter 3. Zero's gonna pick up the M Stone outside the tavern, but it's just just a whole bunch of cutscenes. After which he'll be fast traveling to Noble Court, which he tagged earlier on, before picking up Tressa. And Noble Court is the closest town to Whisper Mill, which is where Ophilia's Chapter 4 will take place. So hopefully Ionic Karma gets through MMSF unscathed as well. As long as Cyrus does his job, which he does.
Ionic getting another proc and the Inhibit Defenses, so smooth MMSF fights for both our runners here.
Very nice, Inhibit. Worry Ward doing his job. Zero's gonna go over to Whisper Mill right now, pick up the Healing Grape M outside Noble Court, and gonna teach a whole bunch of skills. So a very important skill which he will need for Maddie is called Cover, which is the first passive which you unlock from the Warrior class. So Cover allows one of your characters to take damage for another character that is in critical health. So this increases the chances of you being able to survive fights, especially on Maddie, because he can what's called double tap someone. So if he attacks someone twice, it can be pretty bad. So Cover allows you to rescue those scenarios where he uses Consuming Darkness first and then proceeds to attack the same character. But there is a case where you can still die. It's when Maddie uses attack first and Consuming Darkness can't be blocked by Cover. I think because it's an elemental skill. So there's that. Zero, yeah. Okay, so something about the... Oh yeah, you can go ahead. I think we're gonna talk about the same thing as the Plain Drakes.
So you'll see here that the path to Whisper Mill is extremely long. So that's the reason primarily why we learned 1,000 Spheres. So this first encounter in Whisper Mill is static. You're gonna get 2 Plain Drakes here, and then coincidentally they're only weak to bow and spear, which is why we learned 1,000 Spears on Ophilia. So basically, you just need to break these 2 little guys. You don't need to kill them or anything, and then you're off free. So these guys don't really do anything. They'll just sit there and lower your defenses for a good while. If you're unlucky, they'll start attacking people. But thankfully, Zero was able to easily get away, or easily break those 2 and then get away from them. So you also see that Unerring Bracelet also helps here, because while it's not still not 100% accurate for Cyrus, it gives him a much better chance to hit the enemies. And then you also see on the way they grab this cat's eye, which is basically a lot of money.
Yeah, it's 20,000 these just sitting out there in the fields. Zero's actually in Ebony Grotto already, so hopefully he doesn't get an encounter on the way to the safe point.
Ionic getting Ophilia finding the dust here for this Drake fight. Pretty unfortunate.
Very unfortunate.
He's just gonna keep trying and break them and get away. So hopefully this 1,000 Spears hits the other Drake, which it did, and then now they can get away. So Zero's able to save and get to the save point in Ebony Grotto without getting an encounter. So he's gonna do another save and quit here, and then he's gonna grab a 30,000 chest for Matthias, and then he's gonna hit the pre-fight Matthias. So these cultists, which we generally refer to them as funny cultists, they're pretty simple. Pretty simple fight unless they start trolling you with various things such as the funny Greater Soul Stones. Because if you get 2 of them on you, you're instantly dead. Like there's no getting out of that.
So the cultist fight, yeah, as Sanjin said, is usually pretty innocuous unless they start to chuck a bunch of soul stones at you, but the fight's pretty easy. You just break them with mercs. Mercs also increases your defense, so chances of you dying to attack is probably 0. Then you just start chucking a bunch of stones on them, and they die in 1 guard stone and 2 M stones. And you get a free heal after that because all your characters level up. So you go into the final fight with full HP. And Matthias is pretty simple actually. He's kind of a pushover for a chapter 4 boss if you ask me. But he does go down in 4 vets. I think at least 2 of which you need to be full vets, and with inhibit there is a way to make up the lost damage from not getting inhibit if you have enough soul stones, but we'll see how the fight unfolds. So Consuming Darkness is what you want to see first, because Cover can save the character if Maddie decides to attack the same guy. And first turn, of course, summon from Ophi, hoping to get inhibit. And we are going to set up Reflective Veil on one of our characters, which will protect them when Maddie unbreaks and uses, what's it called, Black Gale or something?
Yep, so his first action after unbreaking is almost always Black Gale unless it's a third break. So he's basically taking advantage of that.
Double inhibit, very nice from Zero. It's basically GG at this point.
Yeah, so if you get 2 inhibits, assuming you have the proper supplies, it's basically scripted from here on.
Yeah, so the optimal inhibit would be on turn 3, which Zero got, or you can just get 2 inhibits, which does the same job. So very, very good run from Zero. So after Maddie unbreaks, he just uses Black Gale, but you have Reflected Veil for that. And then you just proceed to break Maddie one more time and do 2 more vets, and that's GG. Ionic Karma finishing up with the Cultist.
Yep, and Zero finishing up, which I believe it's going to be around the 46:18, 46:20, which is a very, very good time for a marathon, for a race.
Yeah, very, very good time from 0:46. Zero is actually telling me yesterday that his D.R.A. runs weren't going very well, and his best run yesterday was a 47-ish. So already beating that time today in a marathon setting, in a tournament setting, is really, really good.
Welcome, Zero. How did you feel about your run?
That was actually ridiculously good for the setting.
Exactly.
There was some esports moments and then not so esports moments.
Which ones were your favorites?
It had to be either the Grand Fort run or the Russell fight. That Ice F's on Russell was amazing, and that was an extremely speedy Russell.
Yeah, I think that's the fastest Russell I've ever seen. That was ridiculous.
Base Zero also running from birds.
Yeah. The thing is, I felt like I had perfect movement too. Like, that was the best I've ever moved for that street, so I'm like, come on. Now you give me the battle? And I just ran from it.
I mean, getting an encounter is basically guaranteed when you have perfect movement. But it's not when you mess up your movement.
Yeah. Every time you, like, have to run around the bush, you go right up to the chest, take those extra steps, you never get it.
Ionic here got the turn 1 inhibit, so he'll be looking to fish for 1 more inhibit, assuming he has the supplies for it. Oh, and he does get the inhibit, so basically it's a GG from here.
Nice.
So very good Maddie fights from both runners.
How was it?
Yeah, like I said, Maddie pretty much a pushover. He's very weak.
Yeah, when you get the inhibits, he just basically just falls over. He can't spout his pretty words.
He still does, just not for that long. When are the 2021 Ophi strats where we route out the damage so we don't get the dialogue after the break?
Tell that to Mr. Warrior and Ionic finishing up Maddie here. But
So
I believe
48
48:51 or 48:50. So GG to both of the runners.
That's another really good time for a race setting. That's better than half my runs last night. So
yeah, you were, because I was actually saying that you told me that your best run from yesterday was a 47, and
yeah,
here you are today. You beat your time from yesterday with 46, which is very good.
Hello, Ionic.
46, right? Oh. Nuts. Hey, Ionic.
GG to both runners. Ionic, tell us about your run, because you got some pretty janky luck on Herod Veneer.
What happened there?
Wow, you can actually pronounce them. That's impressive. But yeah, that's one of those I've never seen that happen before. I thought it was dead, but then I thought a way out of it, but I thought it would be a little bit too late. There was a lot of things I could have done to make that better, such that I didn't have to take a backup soulstones, but I've never had that happen, so it was just like routing on the fly kind of thing for me.
That's how it
You
always
missed.
goes.
I'm
with
guessing you
run.
missed.
Yeah, I missed 2 attacks. I've missed 1 attack before, but I've never missed 2 attacks before.
Up until
Yeah,
last night,
very
I was right there
unlikely.
with you.
It's very
Um,
unlikely to miss attacks on Horapnir, I'd say. Yeah, let alone multiple attacks. So I can't say I've seen that either.
I think I saw you get it once, Quadra. I want to say I've seen you get it once, and then you started doing Holy Light Mercs more often.
Yeah, that's why I started doing that.
I told myself I wouldn't
I-
get Zero's RNG on missing Spearhead, but you know, it always happens when you least want it.
Yeah, missing Spearhead would have been in the world. It was missing Spearhead and a basic tag that ended up destroying my chances of winning.
I ran into that twice in one run last night. I got a double miss, and then I ran it back, and I got a double miss again, and I had to get a 4-hit 1,000 spears. So I routed Grand Port into before Chapter 2 now, and races. So I have that on airing.
Yeah,
So-
we saw you go to Grand Port early to pick up Unerring Bracelet, while Ionic Karma picked up the bracelet after Horapnir.
So I have a question, a few questions for Ionic. So how do you feel? So last run you did the standard 4-character route with Primrose, and then now you did the 3-character. How do you feel about both of these routes, and what made you choose this 3-character route to do in this race this time? I believe he's AFK, or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
there,
Oh,
there you
he's-
are.
oh, sorry.
Wait,
Did you want me to repeat the question? I had a question for you.
for me or for Alex?
For you.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. I thought that was for Alex.
So in the last race, you chose to do the standard 4-character route, but for this one, this time, you did the 3-character route. So what made you choose this route over the 4-character? And I do believe you. And how do you feel about this route versus the standard 4-character Primrose route?
Honestly, so the whole reason I ended up switching before was because I wasn't really comfortable with the old route, and given the time frame I had between the other tournaments that I thought, the other matches that I thought I had a pretty good chance of winning, I decided to just go with what I knew. But for going up against the world record holder, I knew that if I wanted to have a chance at winning, I needed to switch up my strats. So I went over to the 3-character route to see if I could improve my time. And well, I didn't win this race. I did improve my BB by quite a bit, so it was still worthwhile to me.
Nice. I think it's a lot more fun too. I enjoyed this route way more than 4-character or route.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I do not like the 4-character alert route now that I know the 3-character route exists.
Yeah, same boat. I remember grinding a Kate with that, and it was just horrible. I'm sure it will still be horrible with this route too. But...
Really a cake grind.
No, please no.
But what do
It's
you
like-
mean?
One day
Kate's her
somebody's gonna
life.
do it.
Kate's her life. Kate's her love. Especially in Ophilia.
Ophilia cake grind is F to the power of 6 minus tier, I don't know.
I don't even
It's
know
not
what
something
the-
I'd ever do
Dash
again.
tier cake grinding.
I feel like the chances of getting a Kate run going is less than 1 in like 300 or something. There's just so much RNG stacked on top of each other that it's ridiculous.
So let's see. Optimally, you get 2 battles. In those 2 battles, you have a 3% chance of getting it. So, what's the odds of getting a Kate there? About 5% roughly. Then you need to either get a 4-hit Flurry or outspeed it and have it stay like a turn or 2. Let's assume turn 1 kill. I think it's Flurry's 2 to 4 hits, right? Or is it 2 to 5?
2 to
Does
4.
anyone know? 2 to 4?
2 to 4, I think.
So Flurry is 50%. 4-hit is 33%. So
Maybe-
16.3% times like 5%. Let me pull out my calculator.
Is it even possible to?
All right,
do
I'm already out of here. This is too much math for me.
It's possible to
You haven't
outspeed
gotten
it,
to
just
the best part
unlikely.
yet.
And I'm
The
doing my
best
math
part
right.
is getting to the shrine.
Oh, never mind. I thought I did the math wrong. I just put it into scientific notations because it's like -3 exponent. It's like 0.008% or something. So silly. These shrines cool and all, but like when you're grinding now, it's just not fast enough.
Yeah, free character inhibitor route is definitely the route you want to take for esports.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
Interesting enough, this run would have been a PB for me if Quarterfinals didn't do what he did, because that lost me so much time, and I'm still was only like 40 seconds behind my PB.
Nice.
Oh,
How was the run
good.
in general? How was the grind, the rustle, all that stuff?
Everything was going really well until
You got 5 bucks.
Yeah, 5 bugs was really
Oh,
nice.
nice.
I got a few encounters, the optional counters, but they weren't too bad to deal with. No real deaths. Oh, I did get surprised by the what was it, Mirkwood, but somehow managed to live through that. But that wasted a lot of time as well. Forgot about that.
Yeah, at least you survived. Getting through that screen is
Oh
like
yeah,
the
Zero,
one
you
thing.
died outside Saints Bridge.
Yeah, that was something. I think that was a death that I was supposed to get out in Grandport with the birds that I escaped. It followed me to Saints Bridge.
Interesting. Yeah, that was very unfortunate getting death to the Omega Lol salamander.
The RNG
Pick up the
giveth
light stone.
and the RNG taketh. That's just how Ophilia esports goes.
Yeah, but actually both of you were pretty, I'd say pretty even. Probably up to Harald Veneer, which is where stuff started to diverge.
Yeah. I imagine like the timing of the streams would be different because I went to Grandport early, so should have been a bit ahead of me for a while. Until like
Actually,
Robin
yeah.
here.
Okay, so you were ahead still. Yeah, because you were in Mirkwood at about the same time, but you had
Okay.
already gone to Grandport.
By the way, shoutouts to my EM grind. Nothing but frogs.
Oh yeah, I saw that. You got 2 groups of 2 frogs on the way to Mirkwood.
Yeah.
And you got the worst frogs in Whistlewood, and then you got more frogs outside Whistlewood.
How many frogs were killed in that run? 6, 9, 13 frogs were killed in that grind.
That was a lot of
You
frogs.
exterminate the frog populations for Ionic to get worms. Let's face it.
Thanks for that. Though I'll probably get more Kates now that the population is down.
Yeah, now we just gotta take care of the worms, and then it's Kate's next. There you go, Kate grind incoming.
Ionic Karma actually got very good whistle grind because he didn't get an encounter on the first screen. Then he did get an encounter on the second screen, but then he got bugs in Whistlewood. So that was really good for him.
Yeah, that is a damn good grind.
Yeah, at that point I thought, maybe I do have a shot, and then yeah.
Jack is declaring his desire to take the world record with free character Kate.
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to seeing someone just entirely kill the leaderboards. I mean, gotta get that popcorn out.
This is why I'm petitioning to ban Kates.
I'm with Quadra here. I feel like it's more fun without the Kate. Although I think my record gets banned there because I got a Kate outside whistle, but I'll take that loss for you
I think
guys.
that's fine though. The question is just how you draw the line for banning Kates.
No, honestly, the odds of getting a Kate outside whistle are the same as the odds of getting a Kate on the way, except you have a soulstone then. So, if you want to grind the Kate outside whistle. There's the play. I don't think the Kate outside, like the first Kate, saves that much time by comparison. Maybe like 30 more seconds, if I had to guess.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, you still got to do Scholar Shrine. The downside is the slower Russell fights. That's like where you really lose time. But you still got to go to Scholar. Got to get the Flurry guy. Got to get through the Scholar Shrine battle. There's a lot. Yeah, Russell's the big time save, Jack. For sure.
Oh, I always
But-
thought it was like a few minutes or something.
Was it really that much?
I think it is
I
a
think
few
it's
minutes.
like 2-3 minutes, and I think
2 or 3
Whistlewood
minutes.
is like a minute something.
Yeah, because you don't have to.
Whistlegate.
You don't have to kill the Sentinels in Subterranean Study as well.
Yeah.
So you do save some time there.
The Sentinels, the battles to, well, I guess it's the same amount of battles overall going to Atlas Dam, and then like no battles going towards Whistlewood, Fast Russell. No safe route quest actually, using that Kate money, and since he can't do it anymore, that's another thing. That takes like another 15 seconds.
We'll find out
So
when
there's all sorts of other things.
someone does the dreaded and much loved cake grind. Soon TM.
I'm telling you guys, if I ever do it, I am not gonna do it on stream. I think it'll just like, unless it's like late at night and I'm trying to help people fall asleep, because it's literally just fighting the Guardian over and over again, getting your hopes up for a moment, and then getting depressed when you don't kill the Kate.
I'm already retired from Ophilia, so I'm good on that part. I just looked at the Kate round and just for science, so I'm perfectly fine on that. But anyhow, so tomorrow will be at I think 11 p.m. Not 11 p.m. 11 a.m. EST will be the match between Mamgar and Pelasco route, and Zero, you'll be facing the winner of that match. How do you feel? What do you think of either runner?
I'm scared of the the Tressa cancellation. I feel like that gives you power. I feel like Tressa absorbs the RNG from the runner, you know? So if you don't have Tressa, you just get the good RNG. But I think Pelasco's running on Switch, right? So,
He is running on Switch.
He's
so I'm not
actually
sure if
running on
Mamgar-
PC. I believe he
is
getting his
Oh, did he get
working
PC
for it.
version just for this?
That's sick. It should be pretty interesting then, because I think he's a pretty good runner. I've watched him do some Switch runs, and he seems to know what he's doing. And he's been doing the fast free character route, so it could be a pretty good match. I was wondering how the Switch handicap would work.
I assume Mamgar's still running his cancel Tressa route.
Yeah. I wanted to make some kind of fun meme route with Alphen or something for the tournament, but dude, empowering bracelets are too important. It sucks. Because I'd cancel Cyrus. I want to cancel Cyrus, not Tressa.
Yeah.
I have a
Cyrus.
route where I cancel Warrior and any form of inhibit or defense minors 1.5 times defense, so maybe we'll see it. Maybe we'll not.
I was actually considering using that at some point for the tournament. It's essentially like Thief Shrine, except instead of Thief Shrine, you go Runeblade, so it doesn't seem bad, and it'd be really reliable, which seems nice. That was the route that gave birth to this route, I think, actually. We went from that route, then realizing we could do Guide of These to get Worry Ward early, and that's how we got the current route.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Shout out to Sanjan for the no canceled Armor Corrosive route.
Yeah, I canceled Armor Corrosive because I was bored of 4 character, and that it escalated out of control. I'll just say it out loud. It pretty much escalated out of control. And now we have
I'm
this.
glad. This is what we have now is much better than grinding Kates or doing Fairy-on routes. At Resident Sleep, a 4-minute detour. It's a 4-minute detour to get Fairy-on, by the way.
So can we cancel Therion instead?
I think it kind of got cancelled by Thief Shrine, honestly.
That's true.
I mean,
And
you
then-
should cancel Therion anyways, because Therion's worst boy, and he shows his true colors in many runs.
Yeah, like missing 580%.
I can't wait for the all nobles, all male speedruns with a 3% steal at the end. It's gonna be fun.
Shouldn't we just call that Golden Axe 2.0?
Yeah, it's like
categories.
it's a 2-hour run leading up to Golden Axe percent. It'd be great.
Oh my gosh. Actually, yeah, I just realized that you still have to do 3%.
Alright, here's the
At the
all
end.
rogue strats, guys. This is how we're gonna do it. Okay, yeah, we have Cyrus, it works. I had to think about it for a second. We're gonna go to Everhold Tunnels. We're gonna beat the Devourer of Dreams. We're gonna find him again. We're gonna capture him. We're gonna go provoke the guy in Northreach that guards the house. We're gonna use Devourer of Dreams on him. Then we're gonna scrutinize better thieving tips and tricks, and then we get up our percentage to 8%. Let's do it.
That sounds too easy. Just grind for Kate's instead.
I don't think a Kate's enough. I think you still need to hit the 3%.
Just hit BG on a chubby Kate. I mean, how hard is that?
That's why I said Kate's, not Kate's.
Kate's just like we stay in Whistlewood for like a solid 20 minutes, just grinding out Kate's.
If you get EXP times 100 on some random Chapter 2 story boss, I mean, you're a winner. That's not Orlick, of course, because
You do have Prim. Just BG every fight. Get that EXP times 100. You have what, like 10 chances? It's easy.
Just do the Jello thing.
Oh my god, Jello.
On
The greatest BG of all time. So, hold on. What did he get? Like SpeedX 100, JPX 5?
JP down 5 on Goldie.
Yeah, I don't remember if he got like if it was XP 100, JPX 5, and something else on top. I don't remember if it was like 100 JP 2. But imagine XPX 100 on Galdera stream. That's how you grind right there. That's how you get level 99.
Actually, he was only like level 2.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to do it twice, okay? Both phases.
Yeah, I'm not e-sport enough to go for that, unfortunately. Maybe one day.
Well, we can have JP times 100 Cyrus single story.
The only thing you can do with that is like Abers, and you have a 3% steal. Good luck.
Well, I mean, if you already hit that JPX 100, you're already rolling hot. Might as well try.
That is correct. But anyhow, any closing comments from the chat or from any of you?
GG, was fun.
GG, I'll enjoy my retirement.
Yeah, I'm stuck here for a while longer.
Good, it's your punishment.
Are you planning to move on to another category, Ionic Karma?
Right now, well, for the immediate future, what I'm probably going to do is go get 100%, do all the scrutinize and whatever, all that fun stuff, and then I might move to another route.
Are you sure you don't want to keep doing Ophilia? Because that honestly sounds more fun. Like, Ophilia Cake Grind sounds more enjoyable than what you just said.
It does, but the 100% not being complete in Octopath is bothering me too much, so...
Oh no. Well...
It's going to be fun.
I'd say good luck, but that's not good enough. I feel like I need to pray for you or something.
It's gonna be great.
You should do it in a speedrun.
Oh yeah, we should have a speed run of 100%. It'd be great.
Everybody ties at 100 hours.
Oh no.
I think I'm okay. I'll stick with all side stories.
I mean, if it's everyone ties at 100 hours, that means everyone world records. So it's a free world record.
Yeah, that leaderboard will be hilarious. You just see like the two people that decided to actually do it both tied for first place with like 100 hours.
If that is it, then we'll call this a wrap. So thank you everyone for joining, and thanks for SpeedGaming for hosting the race, and thanks to Zero and Ionic for being the 2 players. GG's to everyone. Next match will be tomorrow at 11 a.m. with Mamgar versus Pelasco route. So definitely tune in. That'll be another good run.
Also, thank you, Sanjan Quadriceps, for commentating.
Yeah, thank you so much for commentating.
Welcome.
Yep.
All right, that seems like a good place to wrap it. Bye, guys. Hope you all enjoyed.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Peace.